what's going on YouTube? It's about Lucky HD here, and today I'm bringing you guys another Minecraft picture art tutorial build. And today we're going to be hopefully completing Rumored Tempest Human Form Part 14 by the end of today. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the build. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't as already as well, because that would help out my channel a lot. And also turn on that notification bell to get notified when new parts for more different builds come out. Without further ado, get into the blocks we're going to be needing. So, we're going to be needing light blue concrete today. We're going to be needing light blue concrete powder, white wool, and we're also going to need our placement block. So we're going to take out a gold block with us again. Once we've grabbed all of these blocks, we're going to move on to the face first. While we're moving on to the face, well, there's two little sectors underneath the face that we want to fill in. And this is pretty much enough. This little sector here, so all in here, up to here, all the way to here, we're going to be filling in this sector with light blue concrete. And also this sector, little small sector here as well, we're also going to be filling all of that in also as well with light blue concrete. And then there's one more little sector as well that we want to fill in as well. And this little bit here. So I'm going to fly into all these sectors and I'm just going to place a bit in. Here on the left side here, I'm just going to place a bit in here with our light blue concrete. And then I'm going to move on to the face, so this little bit here. And I'm just going to fill a bit in here. I might as well just do the bottom outline just so we can see it. And there we go. And then I'm going to move on to the next sector over here. Again, I'm just going to fill the bottom. Just filling this in just in case people didn't get where I'm going off. And it just kind of marks the area for us as well to make it easier. Right, that should be enough. And there we go. Alright, and now what I'm going to do is we're just going to skip ahead and we're going to fill those little three sectors in with our light blue concrete. And without further ado, if you want to pause the video right now and fill it in by yourself and want to see the end result yourself, you can do that. And for those that just want to see the end result as a reference and want to copy it, it's just to make sure they don't go wrong, then you can pause the video right now. And there we go. Do those little three sectors complete. So if you have not paused the video already, then pause the video and fill it in if you haven't filled it in yet. And for those that have filled it in and finished with those little part, I'm going to move on to the next shading with the light blue concrete. But without further ado, moving on to the next shading area, we're going to go from the left hand side over here. Also the white wool is going to be at the top. That'll be probably the very end shading, and then it is actually the light blue concrete powder. But once we move on to the left hand side, we want to be on this one area that we just filled here. And we want to go to the very top, so to here. So let's fly into here. And once we fly into this very top light concrete line going up here, so as you can see, with our light blue concrete, we are going to go up 5 from this line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then once we've done this 5 going up here, we're going to do another upright diagonal, and we're going to go by 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And there we go. And then once we've done 19, we're going to place 1 going to the right. And then we're going to place 8 on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Once we've done those 8, we're just going to fly back down to the bottom underneath. So back down to here that we placed this one to the right to. And once we're flying back to here, we're going to go underneath by 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then from here, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And we're going to go underneath by 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And we're going to go underneath by 5 from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. This time we're going to go underneath by 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to repeat this bottom right diagonal underneath by 3. So this 4 here in total. 2 more times in the bottom right diagonal direction. So, to bottom right, place 3 underneath. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 1. And that is 2. And there we go. That's 3 of those 4s in total. 1, 2, and 3. Then move back down to the bottom one we just done. So back to here. And once we have flown back to here, we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And we're going to place 1 going underneath. Just like so. There we go. Should look like that. And we're going to fly back in. And we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 2 going underneath. So, 1, 2, just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And we're going to place 1 underneath. Then this little 2 here, we're going to repeat this 3 more times in a bottom right diagonal direction. So this 2 here, so we're going to do bottom right and place 1 underneath. That's 1. That's 2. And that is 3. And there we go, there should be 4 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we go, that's 4. So we're going to fly back to the last one we just done, so this one right here. And once we're flown back to this one here, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And we're going to place 1 going underneath. Then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And we're going to place another 1 going underneath, just like so. And then we're going to do 3 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. From this third one, we're going to place 1 going underneath, just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And then we're going to place another 1 underneath, just like so. And from here, we're going to do 4 bottom right diagonals from here. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to place 1 underneath the 4th one, just like so. And then we're going to do 5 bottom right diagonals from here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And finally but not least, from this 5th one, we're going to place 1 going to the right. And that should just be underneath this 3, just like so. With the 2 2s above it and the 3 to the right. On the top one. And once we have done that, we're going to fill all of this that we've just done in the inside here with light blue. Again, we can take out our light blue concrete powder. And we can just fill the outside. Just so we don't go over limit. We've got to be really careful placing this, because if I place this wrong in the front, it's going to fall to the ground. And I've done that plenty of times, and it is not the most pleasant thing to do. So let's just place this nice and slowly, but quick at the same time. Because the only way to prevent it is by going really close, so even if you do place it on in front of it, it won't fall down. Because you are in the way. I am placing this very slowly, but as I said, I don't want to go to the ground. I'll do it here though. And then this one as well. It was a bit hard to get the next one. And there we go. We can't really get the other one. Well, we can, but we have to go from the bottom, which is slightly annoying. So we'll just leave it. As you know why. This is why. Depressing, right? But it's a good colour. There we go. Now I'm just going to zoom out. And as you can see, that should be everything there. So usually I would probably cut out. But as I said, we're trying to get this as done as quick as possible. So I don't want to extend this into another part. I would like to move on to the other builds as well that we have. And there's not too much shading. It's just cutting out does take a bit more time. So we're going to complete all the light blue concrete shading, apart from one little area which will be like up there. And we'll do the white wall before we do that one. And it just makes things a bit easier. But we're going to move on to the right hand side. And we're moving on to the right hand side, we're going to move to this bottom right here. So kind of this section here. And once we're in this section here of the hair, we want to fly to the top little bit coming out, strip here. So we're going to fly to this outline here. Once we're flying to this outline, from the right of this 2 here, 2 going to the right of it, what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 on top of the 3, just like so, and then we're going to place 2 going up. So 1, 2. Now I'm going to zoom out just in case anyone didn't get that. So we're going to be going off right there. And I'm going to fly back in. And once I've flown back in, and place your 3 going up here, we're going to do an up left diagonal from here. just like so. Then we're going to do another left diagonal and place 1 going on top, just like so. And then from this 2, we're going to do 2 up left diagonals from here. So an up left diagonal, that's 1, and then 2, and there we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take out our light blue concrete powder, and we're just going to fill on the outside again, so we don't go over the limit. And then that's that little part there complete. And now, once it is connected to that line there, we're going to go to the bottom of the line where it's just connected. So to the underneath here, and once we're flying to the underneath this line, what we're going to do is we're going to fly to the right bottom of it. And once we've flown to this line, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here, and we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1, 2. Then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And as you see in the bottom left diagonal direction, it connects to this 3 right here. So these 3 black concrete, it just connects like so. And we can just place 1 underneath here as well, just like that. And then with our light blue concrete powder, on the left, you can just fill in right there. And there we go. So once again, this sector here is filled in with light blue concrete. And once again, we're not going to cut out yet, do that later on. We're now going to move on to the next sector of shading, and we want to move over to this strip here. So once again, we're going to move to the second line that's floating. So we're going to skip this gap here, and move into here. And we want to fly to the very end of this second top line going to the left or right, whichever way you're facing, however you see it. And we're going to fly over to here. And I'm just going to place my blue concrete until the block we're going to go up by. So we're going to go up that one right there on the end. And we're going to fly in. And once you've placed 1 there, we're just going to literally place 2 going up. So 1, 2, and there you go. And then there we go. Once we've done that, we're going to zoom out. And we're going to fly up to the very top. So going up into this kind of sector here, we're still going to be using our blue concrete. And once we kind of flown up to this sector and hovering over this sector, we're going to go over to the 4 going down, or the 5 actually going down. So that sector there, and we want to fly in towards there. And once we're flown in towards here, what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 going underneath, and then we're going to do the bottom right diagonal. So place just 1 in this corner, and then fly back into the left, so back into here. And then once we're in this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the left, and there we go, we're just filling in that gap there. And then from here, we're going to go 4 underneath. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, we connected the bottom left diagonal direction to this black concrete, just like so. And then from here, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And there we go, once we've done this bottom right diagonal here, we're going to go underneath by 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And as you can see, we're just 1 hovering over here. And then once we've done that, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal, and we're going to go underneath that bottom right diagonal by 4. So, do a bottom right diagonal, go underneath by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, we're hovering 1 over. And once we've done this, we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And underneath this bottom right diagonal, we're going to go underneath by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And we're going to go underneath by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And we're going to go underneath by 6 from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And we're going to go underneath by 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And we're going to go underneath by 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then do another bottom right diagonal. Place 1 underneath. And there we go. There's that little bit there done. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to take our light blue concrete powder. And underneath here, so flying back to the bottom here, on the right hand side, just going to fill it there. And then we're going to fill in again on the right hand side, on this side, just going up, just like so. Just to show the edge, and then might as well fill inside here. And there we go. There's all the light blue concrete shaded there. And then once we've done this area, we're just going to zoom out. Once we've done all this, we're just going to zoom out so we can have a look what we've done. So far we've got this shaded area here, and we've got over shaded area there. That's 2 of them. And then we're just going to do the one in this sector here. So again, on this right hand side, on the big piece of hair, we'll do some shading here. And where this bit shaded here, we want to fly to the corner of the black concrete here. And in that corner, once we're flying over there, what we're going to do is we're going to place one light blue concrete underneath it, just like so. So I'm just going to place one underneath, and I'm going to zoom out just so you can see where we're going off. So we're going to be going off here. And once you've placed your one on there, in that little spot, we're going to fly back in. And then from here, we're going to do an upright diagonal, and we're going to go up by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And as you can see, this 6 is in line with this light blue concrete over here. That is, if you skip this black concrete, it is in line. And then we're going to do an upright diagonal from here, and we're going to go up by 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and we're going to go up by 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to zoom out once we've done this. And to make things a bit easier, we've got a lot to count up, and we're just going to skip the counting basically. And it just generally makes things overall easier for both of us. And what we're going to do to skip this counting, we are going to fly on over to this top line here. So not the very top line, the very second top line, which is the biggest, up here. And once we've flown to this line, basically what we're going to do from here, we're just going to place one to the right at the bottom of it. And we're just going to go up by 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then what we're going to do from there, we're now going to fly back to the bottom of these 4 over here. So I'll zoom out a bit just so you can see what we've done. So we've done this, we haven't done that. And then we're going to go underneath by a bit more from here. And we're going to go underneath 6 from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then from here we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal we're going to go all the way down until we hit the other light blue concrete in a bottom left diagonal direction. Just like so. And then there we go. As you can see, that should just come down exactly like that. Again, the reason why I just did that was because I'm trying to get through this as quick as I can, and to be honest, it makes it actually easier so you don't have to count, like, I don't know how many it's going to be up, but it's going to be like 20 going up, so it just makes things easier for me and you. Once again, I would fill with light blue concrete powder on the sides, but can't really do it on this one either, because we would have to go from, like, down there to up there, so we're not going to do that. If you want, you can fill that in, if that makes things easier for you to fill it in now. But you should know, the right side is light blue concrete powder and the left side is light blue concrete. And now proceeding on with the next shading area. So we're going to start moving on to the top of the hair. And we're going to stick to the right hand side first. And what we're going to do is we're going to start shading with the light blue and the white wool. So in this little part here, so the part on top of the face here, we're going to fly into here with our light blue concrete. And we want to go above to this 4 here. So let's fly to these 4 here, with the 2 and 1 above it. And once we've flown over to this 4, we're going to place 4 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to do an upright diagonal, place 1 on top, just in the corner like so. Take out our light blue concrete, place on the left hand side, just like this. And there we go. That's the trick out there done. And as you can see on the right hand side, we're just filling all that little sector in with our light blue concrete. And now once we've done that, we're going to do the white wall shading in this area. So, what we're going to do is we're going to fly up to the top. And we want to fly up to that very up left diagonal there. So, let's fly up to here. And once we've flown up to here with our white wool, we're going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to place 1 to the left. And then we're going to place 1 on top. Fly down by 1, so back to here, that we just placed 1 on top of. And then we're going to place 1 to the left. And we're going to place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. Then we're going to place 1 to the right, 1 underneath, and fly up to 1, so back up to here, and then place 1 to the right, and then there we go. We just fill in this gap here. And that's that little bit there done. And what we're going to do is, still from this area here, we're going to take our gold block. And we're going to place one on top of the white wall sticking out here. So in line with the very top. And then to the right, we're going to go to the right by 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then once we've done 18, we're going to take out our white wall. We're going to place one to the right. Then we're going to place one underneath. And then we're going to go two to the right. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do an upper right diagonal. And then we're going to place two going to the left. So 1, 2. And there we go. There's that little sector there done. And now what we're going to do is just destroy our placement blocks. And now once we have done this, we're going to be moving on to the next sector of shading our light blue concrete. So without further ado, let's move on to the next strip. So moving on to this strip here, so the very next strip, we are going to be moving on to this one. And we're going to be flying over to the two singular up left diagonals at the bottom. So the first two ones, not these here, but that's actually three, so we want to go to these two. And we're going to be going off the top one with our light blue concrete. So fly in. I'm just going to place a couple up, and I'm just going to place 5 up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And see, it's 2 sticking out over here. I'm just going to zoom out though, just for those that didn't get where we're going off. So we're going off there. Then I'm going to fly back in. And once we have flown back into here, we're going to do an up left diagonal from here. And we're going to go up by 2 from here. So 1, 2. Then we're going to do another up left diagonal from here. And then from this up left diagonal, we're going to do another up left diagonal. And we're going to go up by 1. So 1 on top. And there we go. And then we're going to repeat this 2 here 2 more times in up left diagonal direction. So up left diagonal, 1 on top. That's 1. And there's 2. And that should be 3 in total. 1, 2, 3. And fly back up to where we just left off. And then from here, we're going to do another up left diagonal. And we're going to place 2 on top. So 1, 2. Then we're going to do another up left diagonal. And we're going to place 4 on top of this up left diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then do another up left diagonal. And we're going to go up by 1. And then do another up left diagonal. And then we're going to go up by 2. So 1, 2. And then finally but not least, do an up left diagonal. And there you go. And as you can see, it connects to the third one in this black concrete up here. And then with our light blue concrete, on the right hand side, we're just going to place some going along the right hand side, just so we don't go over. So we don't want to fill too much here, because we do have white wall right nearby, so we're not going to place any in the corner. Then there we go, there is that part of the section there done. So now once we have done that, what we're going to do is we're going to go off to here. And we want to go to this black concrete sticking out here. And then once we've gone back to this single one here, what we're going to do is we're going to take out our placement block. And we're going to fly in. And with our placement block, we're going to place 3 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3. And take out your white wall and place 2 to the left. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. And we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And then from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, then do an upright diagonal, and place 2 on top. So 1, 2, and then there we go. This little gap here, we're just going to fill it in with white wood. And then we just destroy our placement blocks. And there we go, that's that little sector there done as well. So on the left hand side, we fill it in with light blue concrete. On the right hand side, we fill it with light blue concrete powder. Then we're going to move on to the next strip. So we're going to skip this strip here. And then we're also going to kind of skip this strip. So we're going to skip that strip there, but we're going to be going to this strip. So this one here, so the big strip, but on the right hand side of it. And first of all, we're going to start off with the white wall. So, on the right hand side here, we're going to take our gold block and we're going to go to the very top one, but we want to be going to underneath in this corner. I'm just going to place 1 gold block in the corner, just so you can see where we're going off. So we're going to be going off there. And once you have done that, we're going to fly in. And once we've flown here, we're going to place 4 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And take out your white wall and place 1 to the left. and then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from there. And from that bottom left diagonal, we're going to place one underneath. Then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal, and then we're going to do an upright diagonal, and then we're going to place one on top, and there we go. We're just going to fill this gap in. Again, just destroy your placement blocks, and there's that little bit there done. And now, moving on from there, we're going to take out our light wool again, and we're going to fly to the left. So we're not moving on to the next sector, we're still in this sector here, but we want to go to this line floating here. And we want to go to the very top of the build, and from the very top, we want to go down by one on the black concrete and place one to the right. So we should look like that basically. I'm going to be going off there. Once you've done that, we're going to fly back in. And once we've flown back in, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And we're going to go underneath by 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. Just place one to the left there. And then we're going to fill this little gap in with white wool. And once we've done that, take out your light blue concrete. And we're going to go underneath the white bottom left diagonal we just done here at the bottom. And once we're back to here, we're going to place 3 going underneath. So 1, 2, 3. And then once we're back to here, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And we're going to place 5 going underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And we're going to go underneath by 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're just going to go all the way down until we connect to the black concrete that's floating on this line here. And there we go, we should just look like that. And once it looks like this, once again I would say fill light blue concrete powder on the right, but we can't do that with this. So you're just going to have to remember. But again, it shouldn't be that hard to remember. If anything, we can place a bit on top of these ones, but we can't do it on the main one. And there we go, we should just like that basically. And once it looks like this, so on the left side, light blue concrete, right side, light blue concrete powder. Then, once again, we're going to move on to the shading. So, we're going to skip this piece to the left, the hairline. I'm also going to skip this piece here. And then we're going to move on to this piece. And now we've only got 2 more areas to shade with our light blue concrete. And then we're practically almost done with the shading. We just have to do the white wool. But without further ado, once we move to this side here, to this sector here, going through the eyebrow on the left, the very left one, we're going to fly to the very top with our light blue concrete. And once you're at the very top of these 2, we're going to place 2 from the very first one here. So 1 and 2. There we go, I'm just going to zoom out if anyone didn't get that. So we're going 2 to the left from the very top one, just like so. And we're going to fly back in. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 3 going underneath. So 1, 2, 3, and then there we go. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. We're going to go underneath by 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And then from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to go underneath by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And we're going to go underneath by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And we're going to go underneath by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then from the 7th one here, we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. Just like so. And then we're literally just going to go all the way to the ground. Until we connect, just like so. And then there we go. There is that little sector there complete. And now once we've completed that sector there, we'll take out our light blue concrete powder. And we're just going to fill in on the inside here. So we kind of fill this one in. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, we'll go back to that at the end. Right. So on the left hand side, just fill in with light blue concrete powder. And there we go. There's that done. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know, the top is here. We just can't fill in the top because, well, Again, it's light blue concrete powder pretty much for all of it, so you can't really fill in the top line. But anyway, once we have done that, in the right hand side it is light blue concrete, the left side it is light blue concrete powder. And then moving on to the final shading, and pretty much almost at the end of the tutorial. This has been a long tutorial, to be honest. I'm not going to extend it any longer by speaking, so let's just get into it. And from this strip here, take out your light blue concrete, and to the very top we're going to place one in this right corner, just like so. I'm going to zoom out just so you can see where we're going off. So we're going off here, and once we've done this, we're going to fly back in. And from this one that we've just done, we're going to do a bottom left diagonal, so just like so. And then we're going to take our white wool, and we're going to place one to the left of it. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal with our white wool. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal, just like so. And we're going to place two underneath. So 1, 2. Then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And then from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to go up by 2. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do an up right diagonal. Then we're just going to go up by 1. And then there we go. And you can just fill in that gap there. Then with our light blue concrete, we're going to place 2 underneath here. So 2 underneath the light blue concrete that we previously placed, just like so. And do a bottom left diagonal, and place 2 underneath, so 1, 2. And then do another bottom left diagonal, and place 3 underneath, 1, 2, 3. And now we're just going to zoom out, have a look at what we've done. And once we've done this, we're going to fly down to the bottom to make things just slightly bit easier for us to do. So we want to fly down to the very bottom. And once we've flown down to the very bottom, we're going to place light blue concrete in this sector here. So I've flown down to it now. I'm just going to fill this in. And then I'm going to place one to the left, so to here. And we're going to go all the way up until we're in line with the black concrete on this line. Just like so. Okay, naturally like that basically. I'm going to fly back in. And once we've done this, and once we've flown back in, we're going to go up by 16. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And once we've done 16, we're going to do an up right diagonal, and we're going to go up by 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do another up right diagonal, and we're going to go up by 5 from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to do another up right diagonal from here. And we're going to go up by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to do another upright diagonal. And we're going to go up by 2. So 1, 2. Then we're going to do another upright diagonal. And we're going to go up by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do another upright diagonal. And we're going to go up by 2 this time. So 1 and 2. Once we've got up by 2, we're going to do another upright diagonal. And we're going to go up by 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and we're going to go by 2, so 1, 2. Then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and from this upright diagonal, we're going to go up by 3, so 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and we're going to go by 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then finally but not least, we're going to do another upright diagonal, and we're going to go up by 2, so 1 and 2. And there we go. There is the final shading for the light blue concrete, and now we can just move on to the last steps of doing a build. We just got to do 3 more little shades, but that's just the white wall, so it's not too long. So on the left hand side with our light blue concrete powder, we're going to fill in the entirety of the left hand side here. So again, we're just, when I mean by entirety, we're just filling in on the outside. And almost at the top, I think. There we go. And we can do that there as well. There we go. And on the right hand side is going to be a light blue concrete. And now moving on to the very final steps of the build, our last 3 shading areas with our white wood. So, without further ado, fly over to this 3 here. So we want to be at the bottom 3, and with our white wool, we're going to place one to the left of the very top one. So just like this. Once we've done this, fly back in. And we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to do an up left diagonal. And we're going to go up by 2, so 1, 2. Now we're going to do an upright diagonal from here. Then from this upright diagonal, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And we're going to go underneath by 1. And we can just fill in this gap here. And there we go. Now we're going to move on to the next strip of hair, so this strip here. And with our white wool, we're going to go underneath this one at the top, right here. I'm going to place one underneath. I'm going to zoom out. So we're going to be going underneath there. Now we're going to fly back in. Then from here, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to go underneath by 2. So 1, 2. Then we're going to do 2 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to place 1 going to the left. As you see, just 1 underneath this 3, like so. And then in this gap, we're just going to fill it in with white wool. And then moving on to the last section, we're going to need our gold block. So back to this one here. We're going to go to the left of this one here by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Take out our white wool. Then we're going to place 1 to the left. Then we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to go underneath by 1. Then we're going to fly up by 1. And we're going to place 1 going to the left. And then we're going to do it up the left diagonal. And then we're going to place 2 on top. So 1, 2. And then we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1, 2. And there we go, fill in this gap here. And break our gold blocks. And now we're going to just zoom out the entire build. Before we zoom out, let's go and break this. That's right, I am back for you, mister. Or missus. Don't know what that block's gender is. Who knows, it's a block. Wow, it doesn't really have a gender, does it? Anyway. Flying out. Speaking of genders, what gender is Rumour and Tempest? We still don't really know, do we? It's a bit of a weird one. Because he was a male originally, and now his kind of slime form is basically female, but he has a male voice, kind of. It's a weird one. It's a weird subject to go on, but anyway, let's not get into that subject. Or in the comments, what's your opinion? I guess in my opinion, he probably is just no gender at the moment. Because technically he's a monster, but monsters do have gender, but he's a slime. It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird subject to be on, but anyway, actually on to the tutorial. So right now, as we have filled in everything, all these gaps I've said are just going to be light blue concrete. So all these gaps, here, there, I'm trying to aim my cursor, it's really hard to aim it. There, 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 and there, and in there, and in there, and we're just filling all of that in with light blue concrete. And then all the rest of the entire build up to the top, and make sure you don't go over line, we're filling it all in with light blue concrete powder. And without further ado, let's actually get into all this very long filling in. And again, pause the video if you want to see it yourself filled in, and for those that want to have a reference and copy it from the ends, then you can pause the video right now. And there we go, we finally completed Rumour and Tempest human form, and now we are done with this build. Took a long time to do, 15 parts in total. Sasuke took 6, Naruto Sage Mode took 9. I did go into a bit more detail in the shading in this, I guess, but we definitely needed to go a lot more into that. But anyway, we are finally done with the build. Now we can finally actually move on to our newer builds that we've done, because we've got a lot of builds out there. But again, if you haven't already, pause the video if you haven't filled it in already. And again, for those that have done it, well, we're finished with the build. That took a lot of shading to do as well, but we are finally done. And now without further ado, we're going to be moving on to our newer builds. So we're going to be doing Ivysaur now. We're going to be doing our Shoyu Hinata. We're going to be doing our Kuruma a bit more. And we're going to be doing the Luffy One Piece. And there's one more build we're going to be introducing, and then we're going to start working on those main builds, and then when we start to complete those builds, we'll start to get some new builds out. And that one more build that we got coming is, I'm sure a lot of you will be happy to know that we've got Jiro coming, so that was highly requested. But again, without further ado, that's the end of this video. I'm not going to extend it any longer. And if you enjoyed this build, hit that like button, and subscribe if you haven't already, because that would help me out. And again, if you got any suggestions, feel free to put them down. They will be added to the list, because we do have a lot of other ones to do as well. And also, I might be doing like a vote thing on my channel, basically. It's like, I'm just going to ask you a question, because I'm wondering how people want to see me upload these pixel arts. if they want to see me do a specific build just daily, or do they want to still see me do it like I do it now, which is kind of just random. Like I'll do this one today and then I'll do that one next day or something like that. We'll have a schedule for the build. It'll be like one this part this day, this part that day, that part that day. Or as I said, just one part just being daily. But again, without further ado, that's enough from me. And in the comments as well, you can say how you want it as well in the comments. But I might do like a little vote thing as well, because that might be a bit nicer to do, and I can actually get a lot more people in to do that. Again, no, without further ado, enough of me speaking. I'll see you guys in the next one, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out, and goodbye.